Bismillah, walhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ba'd. I'm walking on this golf course here in Florida, and I'm headed towards a place called Mallard Lake, named after mallard ducks, which are they're resident here. They don't migrate anywhere, and in the whole flock of mallards, there are a couple of muscovy ducks. My first encounter with muscovies was in Guyana in South America. I used to have some. You consider them to be your pets, but they usually have another idea. And they're highly independent. They are almost feral, almost wild. They come to you because you feed them, but nothing more beyond that. And they have these wild colors. I unfortunately can't photograph any here now. Just now they're too far away, and the phone cameras are wonderful for the kind of panoramic views that I hope we can get, but they're not particularly good for close-ups. Having said that, there are two muscovies which are headed this way. Let me see if they come. And if they come, then you are going to see a muscovy up close. The reason why they're headed here is because people feed ducks here. I don't know if it's permitted or not permitted, but it must be permitted because usually people in places like this do not do things which are not permitted. So these two muscovies are headed my way, and you're going to see them in a minute. I am here to really, I'm thinking that this whole trip has been so unexpected. On the one hand, we have all that is happening in Palestine. The most recent is that a bill was presented in United Nations, which is anti-racism, against racism, and of course it didn't go through. And guess who voted against the bill? The United States of America and all the major European countries. And the so-called minor European countries are people who abstained. That is as good a close-up of muscovies as you're going to get. See the kind of warts on their faces. The coloring is also very distinct. The amazing ducks, they're, as I said, completely feral. They fly very well, and they're extremely aggressive, so they are capable of defending their young and so on. In the distance, we have a whole bunch of mallards, which I think some of them will probably head this way in a bit. Anyway, I don't want to spend too much time here and give these poor things, deceive them. I have nothing to feed them with. So the bill was presented in the United Nations against racism. And guess what? No money for guessing what happened to it, and no money for guessing. As I said, it was opposed actively by these people, by the big ones, and it was in the younger and the small ones, the minor European countries, as they say, they abstained from voting. And at the same time, we hear all of this, what shall I call it? Garbage would be a good word, you think? All the talk of anti-racism and this and that, and and then the freedom of expression, the freedom to be what you want. And, I don't even want to waste my time and waste your time talking about this stuff because it makes absolutely no sense. But it's a good idea to keep, for those whose eyes are still shut, for them to maybe open their eyes. It would be a good idea to keep eyes open, because it's not very smart to go around in life with your eyes shut. So, on the one hand, we see all this happening in Palestine. There was a note that came to me and saying, "What do you think we should do?" Meaning religious leaders, and we're talking about all different religions, and how do we understand what's happening in Palestine, and what is right and what is wrong. And I thought to myself that really, even the question, if you are at this point in time, if you are saying, how can we understand what is right, what is wrong, then there is something very wrong with that. Something very, very, very wrong with that. But my answer was change the color. Just change the color of the people who are being deprived of food and water, who are being deprived of medicine, who are being deprived of everything that they need, and who are being slaughtered out of hand. And not just slaughtered out of hand, people whose slaughter is being actively aided and abetted by all the powers that be. They say in history that there is no dishonor in being killed by a powerful enemy. And in today's world, there is the people who have not just one, but an array of the most powerful forces in the world are the Palestinians. People who are innocent, men, women, and children, unarmed, is trying to keep their dignity and their head above the water. And what happens? The dignity is boosted, because dignity is not a factor of your bank account. Dignity is a factor of your courage. And as somebody said it very appropriately, I don't know, some people come up with some absolutely fabulous quotes. And this one I heard I thought to myself, whoever said that is an absolute genius. And the person said that in today's world, everything is made in China except courage. And courage is made in Palestine. So I mean, that is, you probably can never think of anything that is more appropriate and more correct than that. Courage is made in Palestine. These trees that I have, I'm walking under our oak trees with moss hanging from them. So I said to the person, change the color of the people and you will know who's right and who's wrong. What I'm going to show you just now is sandhill cranes. It's absolutely amazing birds. They are migratory birds, but here they are almost tame. And that's a very nice shot of these two beautiful birds. You see the red caps on their heads. I think all of these birds are used to being fed, and so they tend to allow people to come up quite close to them. I don't want to go closer than that because we don't want to disturb them. I don't want them flying away. That's a very nice close-up of the sandhill crane. Yes, alhamdulillah. There's so much beauty in the world, subhanAllah. And they say that every puddle in Florida has an alligator, at least one in it. I have no idea. This is a pretty big puddle, if you ask me. But my guess is that probably people who run this whole golf club and housing society, I think they probably are. This is my wishful thinking, that they keep tabs on what's in it and what isn't. So maybe there aren't any. Anyway, those alligators are quite, I think, choosy about what they eat, and I am not high on their menu. Usually they will not attack anything that's not in the water, so you could be quite safe if you are not in the water. So that is the final last closing of this video. I hope I have given myself and you some food for thought in terms of navigating this world, and in terms of not being led by the nose, by all the PR garbage we hear and listen to. Contrary to what many people say and think, I am one of those who has, I believe, the realism to understand the truth of what social media is. Social media does not change the world, and if it could, the world wouldn't be the way it is now. The purpose of social media is to help their advertisers sell as much as they can, and that's what the algorithms are. They're designed for. Anything that you click on, you get to see more of that, and that's all there is to it. There is, if you want things to change, then you have to do two things. One is correct your connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because He is the only one who can change anything. And second thing is take some concerted, conscious, strategic action. Without that, if you still want to believe that forwarding a few messages, tweeting or Xing some of them, and so forth will change your and my destiny, then I suggest you that you also start believing in Santa Claus. There is a sandhill crane in the air that's too far away for you to see. وصلى الله على نبي الكريم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.